veggies and more. I am your host, Charisse, and today we are going to make a vegan mac and cheese. Look, I know what y'all thinking. She's just gonna blend some potatoes and carrots and cashews, and that's gonna be her mac and cheese sauce. Nope. Look, whilst that is like a great alternative, it's super delicious, it's super healthy, it doesn't quite have the viscosity and that texture flavor of a normal animal-based cheese sauce, right? Can't we all agree on that? So I'm about to blow y'all mind right now, Funk Soul Brother. Check it out. And this is gonna be a vegan mac and cheese that your kids won't suspect are vegan, that your omnivore family and friends will have no idea, and you're gonna blow their mind because I'm gonna blow your mind. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we need to boil our noodles. You can use any noodles you like. If you've been following my videos, you know we still have a whole plethora of free noodles left over. So we're gonna do this first. That way, when we make our cheese sauce, we can do it in the same pot because I don't like dishes. While our noodles are boiling, we can get our mise en place going. So here's what I'm putting in mine. Y'all, chow, field roast, girl. Chow is so delicious. It melts fantastically. I like to do the mixture of the creamy original and the tomato cayenne. This may not be something that your children like necessarily, so if not, you can definitely do 2 packages of this. Now what I did is these come in slices, so I put these in the freezer so that I can now shred them on here. That's also, in case you're wondering, that's another trick. If you're using like fresh mozzarella, like let's say you weren't vegan and you're using fresh mozzarella cheese, that's a trick to get it to shred easy, is to put it in the freezer before you start shredding. Okay, so since I kept it in the block, I'm gonna keep it in this wrapper. So even though it's like slices, it's like block form. And that's what I find is a little bit easier. And then you can just shred. Of course, I got this like ghetto shredder, sorry. I'm like all over the place. But like, look, like it's shredding just nicely because I put it in the freezer. You could also food process this if y'all are lazy, which I know you are. If you've watched my videos before, you would see that I go into a lot of detail about how to make a roux, a bechamel, and a mornay sauce, which you'll hear a lot. So I'm gonna repeat it just a little bit for you guys. So you have to make a roux to make a bechamel to make a mornay. So a bechamel is essentially like a gravy, and a mornay is essentially a cheese sauce. So macaroni and cheese, you use a mornay. So we have to make a roux to make a bechamel to make a mornay. So here's how you make a roux. You do equal parts of butter, and we're gonna melt that down, and then we're gonna do the same amount. So I do 1/4 cup of butter, and then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of flour once this butter has melted. And of course, by butter, I mean a vegan butter. I just kind of assumed that was implied and realized I should probably specify. You could use Earth Balance. I prefer Smart Balance. Please be aware, not all Smart Balances are vegan. You need to make sure you look at the back. So now that our butter is, well actually first, shout out to Liz, y'all. She hooked me up with this silicone whisk to make my gravies and stuff in my pots because they're non-stick, and she was freaking out that I was gonna ruin them. So shout out to Liz. Okay, so our butter is melted, our vegan butter is melted, and now we're going to add our 1/4 cup of flour, and we're just gonna mix this up for about a minute. All we're doing here is we're cooking out that flour flavor because we don't want our bechamel or our mornay to have that flour flavor. Okay, now that we got our flour flavor mixed out, we are going to add about 2.5 cups of your favorite non-dairy milk. So I'm gonna use cashew, but I've done this with almond milk before and it's just as delicious. You could use soy milk. So I start by just adding a little bit at a time so that I can mix this roux into my almond milk. Because now what we're gonna make, you guys, is a gravy or a bechamel. So we're just gonna mix this in. We just wanted to make sure we had no more clumps before we add the rest, because you will ruin your sauce, y'all. And then we're just gonna add the rest, and we're gonna mix this up, and then we're gonna crank up our heat to about, I'd say about medium, and we're gonna let this gently simmer until it gets thickened. You know your bechamel is ready if you put your spoon in and it becomes like coated. You see how that's nice and coated with my bechamel? Oh, girl. You gotta lick it. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna add a little mustard. Normally I do a Dijon, we're out. So I'm gonna add a little yellow mustard. If you've ever made real mac and cheese, you'll know that there's a little bit of mustard in it. It gives it a little something extra. I don't really know. That's just what I've done. So we're gonna mix that in, about a tablespoon. And then here I'm gonna add some pepper, because I love pepper and everything. Okay, so our bechamel is ready. And now we are going, which is a gravy. So now we're going to add our cheeses, our vegan cheeses that we have shredded, which do not have to be perfect at all. The reason we do this is so that it's a little bit smaller and melts easier. So don't stress out if you have like random little chunks. And we're just gonna start by adding a little bit at a time and melt in, and then add some more. And then when that gets melted, we're gonna add some more. And voila, we have our Mornay, or our cheese sauce. We added our noodles to our Mornay, our cheese sauce, and look at this, you guys. So you can obviously put this in a baking dish and cover with some panko, maybe some vegan Parmesan, and bake it, and you can have your baked macaroni and cheese. I'm just gonna eat this as is because I am hungry, and this is like comfort food to the max. You guys, I'm freaking out. You guys, holy moly, look at this. Look at it. Okay, so I'm gonna eat it because I cannot wait. Like, I'm freaking out. Girl, if that doesn't hit your comfort food notes and make you realize being vegan was the correct choice, I don't know what will. Oh, you know what? Look, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take another bite. It's dance worthy. It's dance worthy. Look, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, you guys. I put out new recipes twice a week, usually Wednesdays and Saturdays. The full written recipe will be, as per usual, in the description, midnightmunchiesandmore.com. And make sure you like and follow me and interact with me on social media, you guys, because if you make one of my recipes, I would love to see your pictures. Like, you have no idea how much that means to me. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.